Welcome, everyone. This is my course walkthrough. My name is Matthew Van Noos. This is, this is what I came up with. So, if you had read my original blog, um, which is here, I talked about using Brightspace as my learning management system, and as you can see, that has changed. I shifted over to Pressbooks. I'll talk about why throughout this video, but really the ultimate reason was, well, there's a few big ones, but one of the big ones was it felt counterintuitive to be instructing Brightspace within Brightspace, because even just accessing it requires a little bit of knowledge and understanding uh, of how to do it. So I just really wanted to get away from that and think of an alternative way. And then the second big reason was one of the leading or kind of main factors that I wanted to address was um, English as an additional language learners. So what I found, and you may have seen my blog post about this, was every learning management system that I tried to use could not translate H5P except for Pressbooks. So that was what really did it for me when I decided to make this move. So anyway, we'll talk about it as we go through it, but those were the main factors, and I'm much, much happier with how it turned out. And it just felt like I was fighting certain things in Brightspace to try and get it the way I wanted it. And anyways, I feel much better with the way it's come out now. So you'll see here the author is Donna Thiessen. That's just because she's someone in SAS Polytech that has assigned me the book that I can use. I'm the actual content creator, if that makes any difference, if you notice that or not. So this is just a little AI generated cover. It kind of looks AI-ish, and you can tell, but just something to kind of fill the spot. So as you're going through this, if you do want to click through the course, the other problem was when I was trying to show this to people, no one had access to it, right? Because it was behind the SAS Polytech student and faculty wall, so no one could really interact with it, which kind of wasn't as great, I thought, for my fellow classmates. You'll be able to click through everything in the Pressbooks. You just won't be able to, any of the links that take you to the certain things that are in Brightspace, you won't be able to, but most of the content will be available to you. So anyways, let's get started. This is the book, and it starts off really nicely like this, and you can just go into read book. It takes you right to the front page, which is great. I just like even just the layout, the cleanliness of this, the ability to alter things and make it look the way that your mind's eye envisions it, I think is great. So this is the first page that comes up. And it's just a bit of an intro. I found some images. I made sure that the images are copyright appropriate to be putting in books like this. But essentially this front, sorry, I'm just getting over an influenza, so I may have some coughing. Sorry about that. Anyways, this front page is quite a bit on it, actually, for the user. That explains a lot of important things. The first being, which is important to me, is the multilingual access. And basically it's telling them that they can use your in-browser translate feature, and it'll change everything. I did add in some written instructions that they can access in case they didn't know how to do that. So that is there for them, and I would say this is probably my my favorite part if that's the right word, but I think it was one of the goals that I really, really wanted to accomplish. And I was happy I was able to do that, and happy they found that Pressbooks is something that can support that. The next really nice thing about Pressbooks was one of my goals in my course outline, which is here, was to have an offline PDF version. And what I could have done, if you had to do that, you could take all the text and make it a offline, save it as a Word and then transfer to PDF. But one of the great things about Pressbooks is it has a feature that does that for you. Now, it's not perfect and it's not as beautiful and everything, and you miss out on some of that interactive portions, obviously, but it does create basically an offline textbook for you, and it'll go through, and this is my offline version of the textbook. So if someone needed to, they could download this. They could even print it out if they wanted, but I'm really happy about that it does a very nice job of the offline portion for you. So really happy with that as well. So I wanted to include just what the learner will get from this course. And then I added in this little icon here. And I can appreciate people that are sometimes like, hey, I just want to know what to do. Tell me what I have to do, and I'm just going to do it. And they'll probably skip some of the instructions, fine. Maybe they've done Brightspace before or something like that. So they just need to kind of check the boxes, so to speak. And so I included this icon here so that they know, and not just them, but anyone, so that they're not missing anything that they think they have to do. And I included this table of contents, and then I put that icon on each one of the tasks, so to speak. So this table of contents reflects the one that's up here, and that's how you navigate through. Okay, so we're at this one now. And what I kind of learned with Pressbooks is it has, you can play with the headings. And once you do that, it kind of builds in these links for you, which is pretty cool. Okay, so getting started with Brightspace, we are off. And one of the things with the other version would have been the user would have had to know how to log into Brightspace in order to get into the content. So that was kind of, I had to work around that, and I just thought I don't like that. So this starts off with not even having someone logged into Brightspace yet, and this is where I start teaching them. I included this little bit here of time to complete, just thinking about people maybe doing this when they've only got a moment. Maybe they look at it and say, okay, I got 5 minutes, I'm gonna get this one done, or I got 10 or whatever. They can arrange their time as needed. As this is an asynchronous course, I thought that would be important. For H5P, I used this, I think it's image slider or something like that, quite a bit. I really like how it just lets them move through, and you can take screenshots and put them in. And it just sort of illustrates the topics that I'm talking about. I'm not going to spend too much time because I could talk for quite a while, and I want to respect all your time here. The next one is navigating the platform. Again, I gave them some time. So I kind of made some decisions here to use pre-existing videos from Brightspace. They're quite nice, and frankly, they're on YouTube, and I like YouTube because it has closed captions available, right? You can put them on and off. Most people are familiar with the YouTube interface, so that's why I kind of used theirs instead of creating my own. Frankly, it was there, and they're great, so why not, hey? Here is another H5P that I created. It's just going through. It's the one that starts with an A. It's not in my mind. Algamado or something like that. Anyways, you can drag it along, and it tells them, and they can go back and forth and gives them instructions on that. this is kind of my something I had fun with. I don't know if I was going to release this for real. I'm not sure I'd use the fantasy type version here, but it is what it is right now. One of the feedback that I received was there was something wrong with when you did this. Even if you put in the wrong answer, it gave you kind of the correct feedback. So I fixed that. That was something to do in the back end. You had to change the way it marked it. But anyway, it's kind of a fun little thing you can go through, and I don't know. Like I said, I might change it from this fantasy type theme to more of a educational type look or something. But whatever, it was fun. The one thing I did do with this, which is kind of neat, was I made an offline version as well, thinking of accessibility, which is important, of course. So the user could download this, and it's got all the questions just as they see them. And then it has the answers down here. The one thing, as I finished this, I thought, oh, you know what? I just took screenshots and put them in this document. And of course, then you can't use a screen reader or anything like that. So in reflection, what I would do is probably just, the reason I did it is I wanted to capture some of the imaging for the people that are going to do it offline. But if I really wanted to think about accessibility, it would be including the, so a screen reader could do it. Right now it's just pictures, so it wouldn't be able to. Okay, moving forward, again, hopefully not too much more time. The next is discussion board. There's that time thing again. In this one, I included a link just to go to the task. If they know how to do it, they can go and then they can do the post, which is here. Again, you won't be able to click on that because it takes you to Brightspace, but here we go. So I did an introduction post, of course, trying to show them that it's okay to make a video. And so I did a little introduction video for them there. And again, I think most of the links stay within the same window, which is one of the things we talked about for accessibility. So we go through, I've got some H5P exercises here. And then anything that's in an H5P, all the instructions are also captured in text. Okay, so I made this H5P with some really creepy AI images, but I really like this one because it goes through and you can put in kind of highlight points of what they need to really focus on each screen. And then again, a nice little pre-made Brightspace video, the task, and then what they need to do. Okay, I don't want my video to be too long, so we'll just keep going here. I noticed something screws up with the menu when you leave. When you take a link externally. Anyways, here we are. So the next one is completing an online exam. So the main thing we wanted to talk about here is that they use an online proctoring service. It's called Respondus. It can be a little different. Like if you're not used to it, it basically kind of takes over your computer in a sense and doesn't allow you to click any links or any windows or anything like that. If you have dual monitors, it puts a big purple cover over one of them. So I found one of the videos from Respondus. If I was going to release this to the public, I found this one's basically perfect, but it's from a different school, so I don't think that would look great. But if I would redo this one for us, but anyways, because one of the things you have to do is it's called an environmental scan, and then to take your computer or your camera and do like a spin around and make sure everything is kosher that way. Again, so you have the video that tells you, then you have text that tells you, so that if there was any screen readers or anything like that, they could do it. And then there's this task, right? As illustrated, they have to go do an online exam. And it's super simple. It's just this quiz here, example quiz, and it uses Respondus and Lockdown, so they have to go through and do it, and kind of go through it. It allows unlimited attempts, so if they make a mistake, there's no risk. It's just checking that they did it. Okay, and then the last learning part is submitting an assignment to the Dropbox. So again, I used this type of H5P. Allows them to go back and forth, has written instructions along with it. And then I also include written in the actual text version so that it's captured in that PDF that was downloadable. So it might seem redundant, but that's okay to me. If it means better accessibility, then that's the way it's going to be. So they learn how to drop off something to the Dropbox, and then we'll move on to chapter 6, which is the final portion. And this is kind of maybe where I went a little bit outside the box. But basically, what I asked the student to do is they're going to create a little guide. And essentially, I want it to be a guide that could be utilized and stored in a database for future students. And what I said to them, I want you to do the language of your choice. You know, I'm taking a bit of a risk here that I probably won't know sometimes what the content actually says. But hey, sometimes you got to do that and trust the students' integrity that they're going to give proper information to their fellow future students and otherwise not sabotage it or anything like that. The idea is to make them comfortable and really this is kind of like an interaction in a sense. It's like a delayed interaction that they're talking to each other. So I wanted them to do something, a video tutorial, infographic. They could just do written if they want. That's fine. They could do like a photo guide, like Canva or something, or just audio, something like that. Trying to capture that idea of UDL. And then this is where they actually have to do a task associated with the Dropbox. There wasn't a task with that other, the last chapter, because it's captured here. So they're going to upload their assignment to the Dropbox. And if they need more instructions, they can go back to chapter 5 where we just were to refresh themselves. And then here's where I say once they're submitted, submissions may be featured in a course material for future learners, which I think is kind of a neat idea with, that idea of students teaching students and helping them through, because my idea is that I can't fully understand the struggles that some people might have with it. So maybe whatever their idea or what they struggled with will help someone else, and is really the idea I was going with that assignment. Anyway, that is about it for it. I had quite a bit of fun getting through this, and kind of a lot of learning on my part, and had to restart, but it wasn't frustrating. I felt really happy with how it turned out, and the journey was more of what I was happy with, and learned a lot, and still lots to learn, obviously, but yeah, I feel good about it. Hopefully it reflects kind of what I was trying to capture, and I'm getting close to 20 minutes, which was the hard cutoff, so I will stop talking. Thanks everyone for watching, and look forward to talking to you guys later.